everyone. We march today for those who were marched out of their historic homelands in Van and Bitlis and Harpert. We speak today for those whose voice was drowned in the Euphrates River. And we stand up today for those who kneeled to give their final prayer at Deir Zor. I want to tell you a story about an Angelino who was living here 100 years ago in 1950. Her name was Sarah Nahigian, and she was my great-grandmother. And 100 years ago, shortly after April, by American missionaries in the Ottoman Empire. The letter told her a story about her brother, Khachadur Nahigian. Khachadur Nahigian, a professor at Euphrates College, a man who was about to anybody. And when she got that letter delivered to her here in Los Angeles, she learned for the first time that Professor Nahigian had been arrested and tortured, his beard pulled from his face, his tongue slit with a knife, and eventually he was murdered in the village that he and his family had lived in for centuries, because he was Armenian, because he was educated, because he was a leader, and for no other reason. So I marched today in memory of Khachadur Nahigian, but I also marched today in memory of Sarah Nahigian, because as much as I mourn the loss of Professor Nahigian, I also think that Sarah Nahigian would be pretty proud to see her great-great-grandson, the first city of Los Angeles, leading this effort. And I wish you could all see what I see right now, because as I look down Wilshire Boulevard, I can't see the end of our mass of humanity. I can't see it. But what I can see are the descendants of survivors of the genocide. I can see Armenians and I can see non-Armenians. I can see people of every ethnicity and every race standing together today as one family, all part of the human family, all standing with us for this most important of human rights issue, acknowledgement and justice for the Armenian Genocide. And I know that many of you here, maybe most of you, have a relative who was lost in the genocide, or from a survivor who was a witness to the genocide. So I want to take this opportunity, because we're right here in front of the Turkish consulate, and they, for a century now, have denied what happened to our family members. So just for a moment, I want you to tell them the name of the person that you marched for today. Shout it out. The victims that you know of the genocide, the survivors. Shout it loud enough for them to hear. Right now. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. So we're standing here again in front of this building in the hopes that the people that work there will once and for all come clean with their own culpability, admit their own crimes, confess to their crimes so that we can see justice be done. But we're not here only for that. We have a much bigger cause, and it doesn't end today. I know many of us are disappointed, deeply disappointed at our own government and what they failed to do again today, what our Congress has so far failed to do, what our President has so far failed to do. Of course, we're disappointed that they have sided with the people who work in this building in denying their responsibility. We know how disappointing that is. But my friends, presidents come and go. Members of Congress come and go. The truth remains. Our cause remains. And long after this president and the next president and the next president are finished, we will be here in front of this building demanding justice. They can define history with whatever terms they choose to define history. But the task remains with all of us to shape the future. So when I see so many people from all stripes standing with us in common cause, I know that what we're doing here today matters much more than the statement by any elected official, even if it's the most powerful man in the world. What we're doing here today matters much more, because when Martin Luther King wanted to insist upon civil rights for African Americans in this country, he didn't wait for the president to say something. He marched. When the victims of apartheid in South Africa were oppressed and kept down generation after generation, they didn't wait for a president to make a comment. They marched. They demanded their rights. And we are demanding our rights and the rights of all humanity by marching today. What we're marching for is not just about history. It's about the present. It's about our own humanity. It's about whether or not the United States of America will be true to its values. It's about preventing future atrocities to other people. And our task doesn't end today. So I need to take this opportunity because I've never seen this many people in one place, and it's fantastic. But my friends, the march is not over. The march continues after today. Each and every one of you have to make it your own personal commitment to register to vote and to hold your elected officials accountable. Each one of you has to make a personal commitment to help a young Armenian learn about our history and our culture and our language. Every one of you has to make a personal commitment to tell the story of the Armenian Genocide to someone who's never heard it. Every one of you needs to make a personal commitment to fight against genocide, to fight against atrocities, wherever they happen, whenever they happen, anywhere in this world, no matter what the color of the skin of the victims. And if you do those things, and if you make that personal commitment, then today we will have achieved our victory. Today will not only be a day where we mourn death, it will be a day where we celebrate our resurrection and our continuing life and victory over genocide. Thank you all very much.